You might have high emotional intelligence and not even realize it, because it's not about knowing how you feel, it's about what you do when those feelings hit hard, when you're angry, when you're hurt, when someone tests you. And there are 7 specific behaviors that show you have it. 7 patterns emotionally intelligent people share. And number 6 is what separates the truly emotionally intelligent from everyone else. Watch till the end to see how many of these you recognize in yourself. Before we start, like the video and subscribe to LifeBased for more insights about the patterns shaping your life and relationships. Let's get into it. Number 1, you pause before reacting. Most people are reactive. Something happens and they respond immediately. Someone criticizes them and they get defensive. Someone challenges them and they push back. It's automatic. But people with high emotional intelligence don't do that. They pause, not because they're suppressing their emotions, but because they understand that the first reaction is rarely the best one. This pause isn't long, it's a breath, a moment to separate what you feel from what you do. And in that moment, you're choosing your response instead of letting your emotions choose it for you. And that level of self-regulation, that ability to override impulse with intention, is one of the most powerful indicators of emotional intelligence. It's the difference between being controlled by the moment and controlling how you show up in it. This is what allows you to stay rational when everyone around you is emotional. And over time, this habit builds a reputation that precedes you. People notice this. They notice when you don't take the bait, when you stay calm when everyone else is losing it, because they see someone who's in control, not controlled by circumstances, but in control of themselves. Number 2, you actually listen instead of just waiting to talk. Most conversations aren't conversations. They're just 2 people taking turns talking. One person speaks and the other person is thinking about what they're going to say next. They're not listening, they're preparing their response. But people with high emotional intelligence don't do that. They listen, really listen, not to respond, but to understand. This means you're not interrupting, you're not finishing people's sentences. You're paying attention to their words, their tone, their body language. And that level of presence, that ability to fully focus on someone else without making it about you, that's powerful. Because most people are so wrapped up in their own perspective that they can't see anyone else's. When you truly listen, you're giving someone the rarest gift, your full attention without judgment or agenda. You also ask real questions, not rhetorical ones designed to make a point, but genuine questions that show you're engaged. And people feel the difference. They feel heard in a way they're not used to, and that creates connection and trust in a way that talking never does. Number 3, you can admit when you're wrong. This is one of the hardest things for most people, admitting they made a mistake, owning up to being wrong. Most people can't do it. Their ego won't let them. They'll deflect, justify circumstances, anything to avoid taking full responsibility. But people with high emotional intelligence don't protect their ego at the expense of truth. When you can admit you're wrong, you're showing self-awareness. You're showing that making a mistake doesn't mean you're a failure. It means you're human, and owning it means you're mature enough to handle the discomfort of being imperfect. Most people would rather be right than grow, but you'd rather grow than protect a false image of perfection. This also means you apologize properly, not "I'm sorry you feel that way," not "I'm sorry but," a real apology, one that takes responsibility without conditions. When you apologize with genuine accountability, people respect that. They see someone who values the relationship more than their pride. And that willingness to be wrong creates a level of trust that ego protection never could. Number 4, you don't take things personally. When someone is rude, dismissive, or critical, most people internalize it. They make it about them. But people with high emotional intelligence understand something crucial. Other people's behavior is about them, not about you. The way someone treats you says more about their internal state than it does about your value. This doesn't mean you tolerate disrespect. It means you don't absorb it. You recognize that their reaction is coming from their own stuff, their stress, their pain, their limitations. You stay grounded in your own sense of worth. because most people's self-esteem is constantly shaped by external validation or criticism, but yours isn't. You've separated who you are from how others respond to you, and that separation is what keeps you stable when everyone else is projecting their issues onto you. This also means you can stay calm in situations that would make others defensive. Someone criticizes you, and instead of immediately defending yourself, you evaluate whether the criticism has merit. If it does, you take it. If it doesn't, you let it go. Number 5, you read the room. You pick up on things most people miss: the shift in someone's tone, the tension that just entered the conversation, the person who's smiling but clearly uncomfortable. Most people are so focused on themselves that they miss all of this, but you don't. You're tuned in, not just to words, but to energy, to body language, to what's not being said. And this makes you incredibly effective in social situations because you can sense when to speak and when to stay quiet, when to push a point and when to let it go, when someone needs support and when they need space. You're reading the room while everyone else is just trying to be heard. You also know how to adjust your communication based on who you're talking to. You don't use the same approach with everyone. Some need directness, some need gentleness, and you can shift your style to meet them where they are. This flexibility makes you someone people trust in any situation because you know how to navigate what's actually happening, not just what's being said. Number 6, you manage your emotions instead of letting them manage you. You feel everything: anger, frustration, sadness, disappointment, but you don't let those feelings dictate your actions. You don't explode when you're angry. You don't shut down when you're hurt. You feel the emotion, you acknowledge it, and then you decide what to do with it. That's emotional regulation. It's not suppressing your emotions. Suppression is unhealthy. Regulation is different. It's feeling the emotion fully, understanding where it's coming from, and then choosing how to express it productively. You're not avoiding your feelings, you're processing them in a way that doesn't destroy you or the people around you. Most people are either emotionally explosive or emotionally shut down, but you're neither. You're emotionally present, but not emotionally controlled. You experience your feelings without being hijacked by them. And that balance, that ability to stay grounded even when emotions are intense, that's what makes you reliable. Number 7, you set boundaries without guilt. You know what you will and won't tolerate, and you enforce those boundaries clearly and consistently. You don't let people guilt you into compromising them. You don't feel bad for saying no, because you understand that boundaries are not selfish, they're necessary. When you set a boundary, you don't over-explain it. You state it simply and hold it firmly. And if someone pushes back, you don't cave. You recognize that their discomfort with your boundary is their issue, not yours. And the more you practice this, the easier it becomes to hold your ground without second-guessing yourself. This also means you respect other people's boundaries. When someone says no, you take it at face value. You don't try to change their mind or make them feel bad, because you understand that boundaries are how people protect themselves. These 7 behaviors aren't skills you learn from a book. They're patterns that develop when you've done the internal work, when you've learned to manage yourself, understand others, and navigate the emotional complexity of being human. And if you recognize these in yourself, it's emotional intelligence, and it's one of the most powerful tools you have. If you found this helpful, like the video and subscribe to LifeBased for more insights about the patterns shaping your life and relationships. Thanks for watching.